assets. Most importantly, we're going to have fun. Okay, so those are the things we're going to do. We're going to have an amazing time. And for all of those things I've mentioned to be actualized, for all of these things I've mentioned should to actually come to fruit. Okay, there's something I need from you. And what's that? I need you to communicate. Okay, communication is what is going to ensure that we are able to get the most out of the session today. Communication is what is going to ensure that the reason why you joined Kleinel, the reason why you joined the call, that you actually get all of those things. Communication is what is going to ensure that we actually have fun. Because something I've understood lately is that adults don't have fun. So maybe if I was to ask you when was the last time you had fun, you probably can't remember. Okay, so for all of these things to be done, we need to communicate. And how are we going to communicate? We can communicate using the chat box. We can communicate using the reactions. So so just when you have questions, just send in questions. When I ask a question or when I ask for feedback, you can just use the reactions. Okay, so we don't waste any more time, we are going to go ahead. But before we do that, I just want to test out the communication to ensure that we are all on the same page. So if you know you're with me, if you know you're good to go, just give me some reactions so I know that I'm audible, I'm clear, and that we are all on the same page. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, Nelson. So welcome once again to this session. What we're going to take a look at, what we are going to understand is we're going to be exploring 5 things you need to know before investing in digital assets. Okay, 5 things you need to know before investing in digital assets. What's a digital asset? Your crypto, getting into Forex, getting into NFTs, all of those things. There are things that you have to understand before you actually decide that, oh, you know what? I want to be a Forex analyst. There are things you have to understand before you can say, oh, you know what? I want to be a sports analyst. For many of us, the reason why we're looking to get into the space, the reason why we're looking to transition and get the skill is because we are looking to have another stream of income, a generated passive stream of income. And yes, it is possible via digital assets. But before you actually go into all of that, you have to understand 5 things. And those 5 things are what we're going to be taking a look at today. Okay, but first and first, what is Kleinel? What do we do at Kleinel? What is Kleinel about? Especially if this is the very first time that you are joining a Kleinel masterclass. So Kleinel is a tech company, and what we do is we help ensure that you learn crypto forex the right way. Okay, the reason why we started Kleinel is that we saw that there's really no place where you can understand, where you can learn to be a Forex analyst, or where you can learn to be a sports analyst the right way. You see different ads, you see different things like, see different ads like, oh, I got into Forex yesterday and I've been able to make $2 million in 2 days. Okay, if you know you want to be a part of this, join my Telegram community and I'll show you how you can be a millionaire in 1 week. Can you see? We said different things like those kind of stuff. It occurs a lot, right? But they don't really show you. They don't really teach you Forex. They don't really teach you crypto as a skill, because what many people don't understand is that when you're looking to get the skills, you are actually transitioning into tech. Many of us, we know things like the web developer, the data analyst, the data engineer, the UI UX designer, the product manager, all of those tech career paths, okay, all of those tech skills. Crypto and Forex actually falls under this list as well. So that means that if you want to be a sport analyst, and when I say sport analyst, I'm also referring to the crypto analyst, right? That means that if you want to be a sport analyst, if you want to be a Forex analyst, you actually have to learn the skills. And that's why Kleinel is here to show you how you can navigate through all of these things, ensure that you learn the right way, and ensure that you are able to achieve your goals, your dreams of getting that passive stream of income. So that's what we do. And I'm Isisar Bonho, and I'm the founder of Kleinel. I have over half a decade experience when it comes to crypto, when it comes to Forex, and also other parts in tech, from data to leading organizations and a whole lot. But we are not here to listen to me just speak. We're here for something even better. We're here to understand the 5 things that you need to know before you actually get into digital assets. And that's what we're going to be taking a look at. So the session today is actually divided into several sections. Okay, the first section is where we get to understand the 5 things you need to know before investing in digital assets. We'll explore what it means to be a forex analyst or a sports analyst, because many of us, we don't even know what it means to be a sports analyst or what it means to be a forex analyst, right? So this would help us understand what is forex, what's a sport, and then we'll take a look at how you can achieve success. Because anyone that's looking to get into cryptocurrency, anyone that wants to be a forex trader, they're not doing that because they just feel like doing it. They're doing it for a reason. They're doing it to be able to achieve success, to be able to make profits, to be able to make money, to be able to build wealth, right? And so we'll show you how you can do that. And also we'll take a look at our next cohort that is starting very, very soon. That's the June cohort, and how you can be a part of that. But first, the first question we're taking a look at, the first thing you need to know, the first thing you have to ask when you're looking to invest in digital assets, when you're looking to invest in forex, in crypto, NFTs, the first thing you have to ask is it viable? Is it viable? That's the first thing you have to know. And what does viable mean? Viable means, is this a place that you should get into? Viable means, is it ripe for harvest? Viable means, is it a place that you know you can get returns from? That's what viable means. So the first thing you want to understand is, investing in digital assets, does it make sense? Is it a financially wise decision? Okay, investing in digital assets, is it a financially wise decision? That's the very first thing you have to understand. Is it viable? And the approach that we're going to take today, we're going to take a research approach. I'm not just going to come here spitting fables. I'm not just going to come here telling you what I think and what I feel, but rather we are also going to take a look at publications outside research out there and compare it with what you think, and we'll be able to come to a consensus and make a decision. So that's where you know that the answers to the questions that we're going to be taking a look at today are very, very valid, seeing that there was a lot of research that was done in getting those answers. So very first thing, is it viable? Now, there are some publications out there that shows that, okay, is cryptocurrency, investing in crypto, investing in forex, is it a good investment? Is this something that you should actually be looking to, get into? And what we can see from this, there's so many publications. You can also do your research, right? What you can see is that from this particular one, you can see it says cryptocurrency can be a great investment with astronomically high returns overnight. However, there's also a considerable downside. Okay, and says investors should analyze whether their time horizon, risk tolerance, and liquidity requirements actually fit their investor profile. There are a couple of things that are listed in there. So if you know you're going to need access to the slides, the recording of the session, so you can go through all of those things that we're going to talk about, and so you can get access to all of these publications, because by clicking on this link, you'll be able to read up on the full thing. It's a great read, really. So ensure you fill the form that has been sent to the chat box by my colleague. So just click on that link and fill the form, and so you get access to all of these things. Okay. So what this is telling us is that investing in crypto, being a forex analyst, being a crypto analyst, it's actually worthwhile. It's actually a great investment, because you can just put in a lot of money and get a lot of money overnight. Yes, that's possible. Okay, so but there's also another side to it. It's two-sided. A couple of weeks ago, we had a session which was titled "Financial Freedom or Risky Gamble: Understanding the Crypto Market." Okay, so if you missed that session, you can always check out our YouTube channel, and you'll see all of our sessions there. So you can check out our YouTube channel at Kleiniel. Okay, so you're gonna see all of that, and then you can go to have an understanding of everything that we went through during the last session. The last session we took a look at, is cryptocurrency, is it going to give you financial freedom, or is it a risky gamble? What this is currently showing us is that cryptocurrency can give you financial freedom. Because from the very first place, you can see that it says cryptocurrency can be a great investment with astronomically high returns. What does astronomically means? Astronomically means out of this world. Okay. However, there's also a considerable downside, and we're going to explore that. We're going to explore all of this. And then over here, you also see it says cryptocurrency is a volatile investment, but in the long term, many coins have risen in value considerably. Taking a look at Bitcoin, for example, Bitcoin price increased roughly over tenfold over the last 5 years. So it's actually looking like, oh, it is viable, seeing that there are so many people that have been able to make that switch. There are so many people that have been able to benefit from being a crypto trader or from being a forex analyst. But this is not enough, right? These are publications that have been carried out. There's something else that I feel also gives more value to the claim that investing in digital assets is actually viable. And what is that? That's taking a look at the Investment and Securities Act of 2025. As anyone on the call, okay, I want to ask a quick question. Remember at the start of the session, I mentioned that for us to have a great time, for you to get the most out of the session, we have to interact. Okay, so just give me a thumbs up, give me some reactions, give me some reactions, give me a thumbs up if you've seen this, and a thumbs down if not. Okay, so have you ever seen have you heard of the Investment and Securities Act? Okay, so I can see Adedeji's hand is raised. I believe that's supposed to be a thumbs up from Adedeji. Okay, or is that a question? Is that a question or it's I think that's supposed to be a thumbs up. So if you want to insert reactions, so all you need to do, you're going to find you're going to find an emoji. You'd say an emoji icon, like a smiley face. So click on that and you're going to see many reactions that you can use at the Deji. Okay, but if you have fantastic, yeah, okay, great. So yeah, great. So that's what you have seen it. But if you have more questions, you can send that to the chat box. I'm also taking a look at the chat box and I will answer all and every question. So the Investment and Securities Act 2025 was signed in March. It was signed in March. It was signed on March 30th, so March 31st to be exact. And the last time this particular act was revised was in 2007. So 2007 was the last time this particular act was revised. And so, but that's before 2025. So from 2007 to 2025, we have about 18 years, if I'm not mistaken. 18 years. That should be 18 years. Someone born in 2007 at this point is already an adult. Okay. So that's the situation. So 18 years ago was the last time this act was revised. And at the start of the year, if you had asked me, if I had asked you as well, do you think that that digital assets, cryptocurrencies, is going to now be recognized as securities in the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Your answer will probably be no, I don't think so. Because we understand that the federal government of Nigeria, the government is more conservative. And that means that there are certain things that we don't think they would want to buy into. But apparently, a new act was signed in March that actually now recognizes digital assets as securities. And what this means is that the federal government is actually saying that there is a future in digital assets and that they don't want to be left behind, because every other part of the world, every other country, they've already adopted this years and years and years ago. Okay, Nigeria is a little bit slow to the party, if you ask me. but yeah, they've been able to see that this is an area that is actually worthwhile, and that's the reason why they decided to sign this into law. Because just last year, it would not have made sense. You would not have believed that this was going to happen, right? But it did. So again, once you get access to this, you can read up on the full reports. You just click on this link and it would open up the entire report for you, so you can understand what the ISA 2025 actually talks about from start to finish, right? From start to finish. But yeah, that's something. So that tells you that this is actually a space that you should be looking to get into. If the federal government has already even gone ahead to start recognizing these as securities. So that answers the question: is it viable? Okay, that answers the question, is it viable? But the next thing we have to know, the next question that you have to answer, are there risks? Okay, are there risks? That's the second question you have to answer. Many this I've said this a lot. I said this a lot. If you've been in any one of my sessions, you probably have heard me say this before, and of course you're gonna hear me say it again. For there are different kinds of risks. You have the conservative, the moderate, and the aggressive. The conservative risks are investment. The conservative investment, that's conservative investments, right? These are investments that you go into, that the chance of you losing your money is very, very low, next to zero. And for you to make returns, you have to spend a long period of time. Okay, so you have conservative investments. I'm going to write that out. So just a moment. Just trying to get my pen. Okay, yeah. So there are three kinds of risks. So you have the conservative, you have the conservative, then you have the moderate, and then you have the aggressive. The conservative, the moderate, and the aggressive. The conservative is a kind of investment that you go in, and the chance of you losing your money is very, very low. But for you to get returns, you have to spend a long period of time. So, for an example of conservative investment is when you invest in real estate. Okay, so an example of conservative investment is your real estate. That's your real estate. And what's your real estate? That's when you, let's say you buy land. So when you buy land, are you going to lose your money? The chance of you losing your money is very, very low, except if you purchase land in an area that is susceptible to natural disasters, maybe susceptible to gullies, erosions, and a couple of other things. That means that the price of your land is actually going to reduce as time goes by, right? But overall, you're not expected to lose money when you buy land. It's expected to appreciate. And the appreciation comes over a long period of time. So that means that for you to get substantial returns from your land, you have to spend maybe 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, as the case may be, depending on the development of the area. That's conservative. Another kind of conservative investment are your mutual funds. Your mutual funds, this is another kind of conservative investment. Your mutual funds, on your mutual funds, for your mutual funds, it's an investment where you get a certain percentage in a year. You also have some other categories in there, like your investment paper. So that means that you can go in. Let's say you have 100,000. You invest 100,000 into your mutual funds, and then you get around 19 to 21 to 22% in a year. So that means that if you invest 100,000 in 1 year, you have to leave the money. So it's not like you're going to be withdrawing it. Okay. So you invest the money at the start of the year. At the end of the year, you're going to get 120,000. So you invest 100,000, you get 120,000 in 1 year. So that's 20,000 profits, right? So that's conservative. The chance of you losing your money in mutual funds is very, very low. And the returns that you get is also conservative. So low risk, low reward. So that's conservative. And there are still some other kinds of conservative investments. Then you have your moderate. Your moderate investments are investments where the chance of you losing your money is moderate, and the chance of you getting your and making a lot of money is also moderate as well. Sometimes the chance of you it falls in between conservative and aggressive. So sometimes you might just lose a lot, and sometimes you don't lose. It just falls in the middle. An example of moderate are some kinds of stocks. Note, Not my words. Some kinds. So it's not every kind of stock. Some kinds of stocks that you can purchase are moderate. So they are not taking so much risks. You're not taking so much risks. So maybe you might lose some money here and there, but the loss is not going to be huge. Okay. So maybe if you invest 100%, maybe you might lose maybe 5%, 10%. Okay. And then if you want to gain, you also gain moderately. So that's it. So that's for moderate. And then for aggressive investment, these are the kind of investments where you have a high chance of making a lot of money. So you can invest, let's say today, and in 2 days time you get 100% or 200% returns, or in 1 month's time you get like 1,000% returns. But the chance of you losing your money is also equally high. It is also called high volatility. Okay, that's where you get in. That's what high volatility. Pardon my writing, okay? Pardon my writing. But that's high volatility. High volatility. So it means that there's very high chance you can make a lot of money, and there's also very high chance you can lose a lot of money. Anyone that tells you that in a month, okay, anyone that tells you that in a month you're going to get 100% return, let's even a 30%. So anyone that tells you that, oh, come and invest in these, you will get 30% return of investment on investment in 30 days with no risks, that's a scam. Just know it's scam. So that means that, oh, you in 1 month you want to put in 100,000, and in 1 month's time you get 130,000 in 30 days with no risks. Like, it's just show, just put the money and then you get 130,000. That's a scam. That's a Ponzi scheme. And I'm sure we over the weeks, weeks ago or a month now, we had all heard about the CBEX scam, and then some years ago there was MMM, and so many scams. So anyone that tells you that in a month you want to get that, once you invest you get 30% returns in a month and that there's no risks attached, that's a scam. Even people that will tell you that 50% in a year, that you will get 50% in a year. So that means that, oh, you invest 1 million and in 1 year you're going to get 1,500,000 with no risks. That's also a scam. Okay. Now, does that mean that you cannot get 1,500,000 in 1 year? You can, but there's also risks involved. That's high volatility. That's what volatility is now talking about. So those are the three kinds of risks: the conservative, the moderate, and also the aggressive. So the reason why I went through all of this is that you have to understand. That's answering this, the second question. Taking a look at the second thing that that we were exploring. Remember, the first question we asked was, is it viable? And from the research that we did, taking a look at the publications, taking a look at the Investment and Securities Act from the federal government, we have seen that it's actually viable. Now, are there risks? Let's also take a look at this. We've been able to understand the different kinds of risks, but let's see, are there actually risks? Then this is from Forbes. Everyone knows Forbes. Forbes is like, it's a very, very popular magazine. Okay, they carry tons and tons of research. They show like the world's richest men, all of those kind of stuff. So from Forbes actually shows that in and this is a report open to everyone. This is a report open to everyone. So once you get access to the slides, just click on click on that on the link, and of course download. Just click on the link to read the entire publication. So Forbes says that as at November last year, a couple of months ago, that the crypto market had a $249 billion volume, and this marked a 31.22% increase from the previous year. So that means that there was an increase, right? But also in that same publication, it also shows that as at November 12, 2024, $634 million has been liquidated across the crypto market. $634 million. What does that mean? That means that $634 million has been lost. Like the money just disappeared. That's what liquidated means. Liquidated means that it just went like it went up in smoke. Okay, and it's not coming back. So $634 million has been liquidated. And let's compare the two figures. The crypto market had $249 billion in volume, and we had $634 million that had been liquidated as at November 2024. So that means that while there are people that are celebrating, oh, I made a lot of money from this, I was able to get this, or I was able to get make profits from crypto, I was able to invest in forex, and I got the trade right and made profit. There are also people that made losses as well. So for every chance of you getting profit, there's a chance of loss. Don't forget what we talked about, the different kinds of risks. So when you're taking a look at making money, when you're looking at investing, there's a risk involved. If it's low risk, that you're not going to lose a lot of money, you're not going to, the chance of you losing money is low. That means you have to spend time for you to for the interest to accrue, for you to be able to get enough profit. And I used real estate as an example. When you buy land, you have to wait for years and years for you to get good profit. I also use mutual funds as an example, where in 1 year, you can get from 19 to 20% of your returns. Okay, so you invest 100,000, and then at the end of the year, you get 120,000. That's mutual funds. And there's still a couple. So that's conservative, low returns and low risks. But then when you're looking at, oh, I want to make even more money, I want to make even more profit, I want to get even more gains, then you also have the risks increasing as well. So that's the second question. Are we following? Are we together? Just give me a thumbs up if you know if we are together. Okay, I just want to ensure that we are all. I need reactions. We all agree that we are going to communicate. Okay, I can see Nosa raised his hand. I believe that was supposed to be a thumbs up from Nosa. Okay, okay, fantastic. So everyone is following. Everyone is on the same page, which is great. Okay, thank you very much, Blessing. So that's the situation. And if you forget anything in the session we're having today, don't forget one thing. And what's that one thing? Anyone that tells you that you're going to get 30% returns in 1 year, okay, not in 1 year, 30% returns in 1 month without risks, it's a scam. 30% might not seem big to you. That's the reason I'm using 30%, because some people be like, oh, but 30% is small now. It's just 30%. That means if I put in 100 naira, I get 30 naira. If I put in 100,000, I will get 30,000. If I put in 200,000, I will get, it's like, it's not big, but it's actually a scam. There's no investment that's like that. If you when you start getting, when the return starts getting to, let's say, 20%, 30% in a month, there's also a risk involved. So yes, it is possible. Don't get me wrong. It is possible that you can go ahead and invest and make 20%, 40%, 50%, 100% in that month, but there's also risks involved that you're going to lose money. So that's the way economics works. Risks, reward, risks, reward. So that's it. So moving on. That's the second question. We've been able to see at the risks. The second thing that you need to understand. Now, take a look at the third thing. So, what strategy will help you succeed? Because for many of us on the call, there's a reason why we're here. We are looking to actually understand what it means to be a sports analyst. We're looking to understand what it means to be a forex analyst. We're looking to understand how we can be able to achieve our goals, get that on the stream of income in addition to our 9 to 5. Okay, because yes, everyone has 9 to 5, and there's nothing shameful about that. Okay, so we have our 9 to 5, and we want to also have another stream of income. That's the reason why we're here. So what strategy will now help you succeed if you're looking to get into sports, if you're looking to get into forex? It's easy. It's actually a 6-step strategy. It's a 6-step strategy. And the very first thing that you have to do, the very first thing that you have to understand is you have to identify the path for you. You have to identify the path for you. You have to know, do I want to be a forex analyst or do I want to be a sport analyst? Because they are two different things. They are not the same. Being a sport analyst actually means that you are a crypto analyst. Okay, being a sports analyst actually means that you are a crypto analyst, and being a forex analyst is a forex analyst. They're two different things, and I would explain what I mean. I would explain what a crypto analyst does and what a forex analyst does. But they're two different things. And note, you keep saying I use the word analyst. I'm not just saying trader. I keep using the word analyst. Because again, it's a tech skill. It's not just about downloading an application on your phone and start buying coins. That's like the first step to doom. So you have to actually understand the skills. You actually have to get those skills. The first thing you have to do, identify the path for you. And that's why you're in a session like this, to know the difference and to think about which of them works fine with you, okay? Which works best with you. So you identify the path for you. And then after identifying the path, the next thing you want to do is that you want to learn the skills, which is very, very important. And how do you want to learn? Would you learn the skills? You want to learn the skills in in a classroom setting, not learning the skills on the Telegram channel where probably there's a Telegram call or something. No, you want to be able to jump on a session like this where the facilitator is sharing their screen. They're showing you how to work with the different tools. If you want to be a forex analyst or a sports analyst, talking about tools like your Mexi Global, your Trading View, your Coin Market Cap, your MT4, all of those tools. You are actually learning. You're asking questions. You're gaining experience, learning the right way. And not that you are on WhatsApp and you're just seeing signal and you don't have any idea what crypto is. It's just signals, airdrops, which is good. But you have to have an understanding for you to actually be able to utilize those things. So you have to learn the skills, learning the right way. You have to have a well-structured learning path where you have a classroom where all of your materials, that's the materials that we use in teaching, the recordings of the session, everything is available. For maybe you missed a class, you want to go back to the recordings to understand what was done in class, and not just the WhatsApp calls. This is a skill. It's not many people fall into this facade of it's a get rich quick scheme. Forex is not a get rich quick scheme. Crypto is not a get quick rich scheme. It's not, oh, you just put in and you become a millionaire overnight. That is not the way it works. So you have to actually learn the skills the right way, not on a WhatsApp call. And I keep saying WhatsApp calls, because I have experienced things like this. When I was looking to get into the space as well, years and years ago, when we often had little information, I experienced things like this and I lost a lot of money due to that. And that's the reason why we started Clarion, to ensure that people looking to get into the space actually understand well, with people from the ages of 25, 30, 35, 45, millennials, okay, right? People that have the kids, you have your 95, people like me, people like you, and not just 15 years or 14 years people, children or kids, just making it seem like if you don't have anyways, we'll get into that, right? So you have to actually learn the skills. And after you've learned the skills, the next thing that you want to do is that you actually want to have practice simulations. And what are practice simulations? Now, you would agree that if you, let's say you want to be a surgeon, okay, you want to be a surgeon, or you want to be a pilot, and you go to school to learn how to pilot, you are going to actually have to do a test drive. That's in this case a test flight without passengers, or not. You don't even start. You could there's a place where you can just test things that you have learned without risks. So tell me, you want to get into forex, why then should you not practice? Many people just hear things like, oh, this is the new coin to buy, and they just go ahead and start buying the coin. Many people just think, oh, this is the new signal, the trade, and just go ahead and start trading, losing so much more in the process. After you've learned the skills, after you've learned how to work with all of those tools, you should have a practice environment that is no risks. And what that means is that you want to be able to for example, let's say you learning forex. So as a forex analyst, you've gone ahead to work with all of your tools, your Mexi Global. You've been able to analyze the trade. You've carried out your technical analysis. You've carried out your fundamental analysis, your sentimental analysis. You've done all of those things, and then after doing that, since you're practicing, you go ahead to lock in your trade. You lock in your trade using dummy currencies, okay, using dummy currencies, so that once you lock in your trade, if you got your trade right, you are actually going to, if you got your trade right, you are not going to make a profit, okay? Yes, originally you would have made a profit if you had done that same trade exactly as it is in reality, but in this case you're not going to make a profit because it's practice. And also vice versa, if the trade was not correct and you made a loss, you would also not be making a loss because you are practicing. So that's where you're testing out your skills. You're knowing, okay, yeah, do I understand how this thing works? Before you actually go head first into the sea and start putting in money. And many people don't do this. Many people don't do this. Many people don't do this. Many people just download Trust Wallet or Binance on their phone and start losing money, as I say. Okay, so you have to practice. When you've practiced, you've learned the skills, you've practiced, you've seen, okay, I'm understanding how this thing works. Then you can start going ahead to invest. And after you've practiced, the next thing that you have to do is that you have to gain trade psychology and risk mastery. Because for you to actually succeed, as a sports analyst, or for you to actually succeed as a forex analyst, it's not enough to just have the technical skills. You also have to have the other 50%, which is your trade psychology and your risk mastery. And the way that you're going to get that is by having one-on-one sessions with experts, whereby you're telling them, taking them through your thought process. Oh, this is what I want to do. This is what I've seen. And do you want to give? What do you think? All of those things. Okay. And then you also want to be able to have live trading analysis. Live trading analysis that is not a do as I do session. Many people hear about live trading analysis, and what they think about is, okay, I'm just going to join this session. I'll be watching someone trade, and I'll try to do the same. No, a live trading analysis where you're actually sharing ideas. So the facilitator is taking you through everything that they are doing. Okay, so they're taking you through everything that they are doing from um, from okay, oh, this is from the analysis that they carried out. Oh, this morning I read the news, or I saw in the news that the US was going to do this, or that Nigeria was going to do this, or that the US was going to go into a recession, and due to this, I think the dollar is going to drop in value. Take it through their thought process as to the reason why they are doing what they are doing. And then you would also say things like, oh yeah, I also saw that as well, but I saw something else, just in case maybe you, in your research you saw something that the facilitator might have missed. Oh, but I saw that the banks were going to increase interest rates, and so since the banks are increasing interest rates, don't you think it's going to lead to an increase in the dollar instead of a decrease, even though they are in a recession? And then your thought process flows. That's where you are able to think for yourself, and you're not just relying on someone. That means that you can be able to go ahead to trade yourself even when someone is not there, because you are sharing ideas. Nobody knows it all. Everyone makes losses. Anyone that tells you that they don't make losses, that's a lie. Everyone makes losses. Remember, there's a certain level of risk involved. Everyone loses. But the goal that you always want to try to get is to ensure that you make more profit than losses. Because that's way it means you're actually making profits. So even when you lose, you make more profit, so it covers your losses, and you also have some profits. So that's the reason why you always want to be able to collaborate and have that live trading analysis that I've said, and not just a session where you're just looking at someone clicking things that you don't even understand. And then the navigating financial investment. Navigating financial investment, these are sessions that these are sessions that would help you gain your trade psychology and risk mastery, where you have financial experts from investment bankers to brokers joining sessions and telling you all about the different kinds of investment that you can get into. And when I say investment, I'm talking about valid investment. You want to have a balanced portfolio. You don't want to place all of your money into just one basket. Okay, so you don't want to place all of your money into savings. Saving is good. Savings is great. Trust me. Always save. It's very, very important to save. Very, very important to save. But you don't want to save all of your income, and that's due to inflation. Okay, saving is going to teach you discipline. Saving is going to do a lot of positive things for you, but it's very, very unlikely that saving would make you rich. It's very, very unlikely. So you want to be able to have a balanced portfolio, where, let's say, maybe 20%, 30%. Of course, first of all, your needs and your wants. Maybe 40% of your monthly income covers your needs and your wants, right? And you want to put maybe 20% into savings. You want to put maybe another 10% into. Many people don't have a retirement account or even a high yield interest savings account. People have savings accounts, people have current accounts, but many people don't have a high yield interest savings account. And these accounts are offered by your banks, your popular banks, your popular Nigerian banks, and people don't have this. So you want to be able to say, okay, maybe another 10% will go into your high yield interest savings account, and then maybe 5% would go into your retirement accounts. That's into your talking about your other kinds of investments from like the S&P 500 if you're dealing with US stocks, to also the Nigerian equivalent. And then you want to have maybe the rest now going into forex. For you to actually succeed as a forex trader, for you to actually succeed as a crypto analyst, as a forex analyst, you have to have a balanced portfolio. You cannot place all of your eggs into one basket and hoping that, oh, I'm just going to put everything here, and I know that I want to go to bed, I'm just going to get the trade right and I'll become a millionaire. Whilst for some people it might work, but for the majority, it doesn't work that way. It's a 1 in a million chance. So you want to have a balanced portfolio that is building you wealth from different places, and not trying to invest in Ponzi schemes and like the latest pay to get one free. I don't know. No, you want to have a portfolio that makes sense. That's the reason why the Navigating Financial Investments would bring in finance experts that will tell you the different ways that you can ensure that you are doing well, that you become money wise. And then, of course, mentorship. All of these things is what will help you in building that trade psychology and risk mastery, which is the other 50% that I talked about. And then you have your networking and your portfolio. The networking is very, very important. You want to be able to communicate with individuals. You want to be in a community with people that are trying to achieve similar things that you are trying to achieve as well. You want to be in a community that makes sense, a community that everyone is trying to achieve similar goals, and not just one where the only thing you see are things like signals, and probably pictures of the new Lamborghinis and the new mansions that someone just bought. No, you also want to be able to collaborate with individuals. Okay, this is what I wanted to do. What do you think? What do you think? So because two heads are better, two heads better than one, right? So I do my research, I count my analysis, do yours, we come together and we find the best thing that works. That's for the networking. And of course, the portfolio, very, very important. That's talking about the Navigating Financial Investments. You want to have a balanced portfolio. All of these things put together is what we actually make you an expert and get you another stream of income that you're actually searching for. This is the strategy that will help you succeed as a trading digital assets. This is the strategy that will help you succeed in trading digital assets. It's something that has been tested and trusted. But moving on. So what are the skills that you need? What are the skills you need? Because we've been able to answer a couple of questions. Now, moving on to question number 4. Remember, 5 things that you need to know. We're taking a look at 5 things you need to know before you invest in digital assets. Number 1, we took a look at, is it viable? What are the risks? The strategies that you need to succeed. Now, what are the skills that you actually need? For the skills that you need, the first thing first, take a look at the forex analyst. Who is a forex analyst? And I'm just going to go through this very quickly. A forex analyst is like your weather forecaster. You know your weather forecaster? Your weather forecaster is a scientist that does a lot of research, carry out a lot of experiments to predict what the weather will be tomorrow. The forex analyst is like the weather forecaster, but for currencies. And when I say currencies, I'm talking about real currencies: your dollar, your euro, your cedis, your naira, real currencies. So the forex analyst goes ahead to carry out the analysis, does a lot of research, use the tools for the technical analysis, does a lot of things to be able to make accurate predictions of what the coins, different currencies are going to look like in terms of the euro against the dollar, the pound against the dollar, or the dollar is going to rise against the naira, those kind of stuff. So once they're able to get before they're able to make that prediction, there's a lot of analysis that's carried out. There's a lot of knowledge that is needed, and lots of skills that are needed. That is who a forex analyst is. So a forex analyst deals with what? Currencies, your new currencies, your centralized currencies. When you take currencies, think of the currencies of countries, okay, currencies of nations. So that's for the forex analyst. And for you to be a forex analyst, you have to, study the market, use technical analysis, predict an opportunity, and go ahead to trade. But what are the skills that you need to be a forex analyst? What are the things that you need to know to be a forex analyst? For you to be a forex analyst, the skills that you need to know You have to understand, of course, what forex trading over is, right? Very first thing. You have to know how you can integrate MT4 and your that's how you can work with your MT4. You have to understand your technical, fundamental, your sentimental analysis. You have to be able to carry out your support and resistance levels, and understand what support and resistance levels are, your candlestick and chart patterns, your leverage, lot size and spread, risk management strategies, very, very important. Then your advanced trading strategies, your Fibonacci levels, and a lot of other things. If you don't have all of these skills, you are not a forex analyst. You are just someone that is hoping that one day you predict something that is right just by chance and that you make some money. And most times that never happens. So you have to understand all of those skills, and you have to have all of those skills and the tools that you need, that you are going to need to know how to use. Tools like your MT4, your Trading View, or your MT5, your Mexi Global, your Forex Factory. These are tools that you have to know. These are tools that you have to understand to be a forex analyst. You have to know how to work with this. It's a tech skill. Don't forget tech. What's tech? Maybe I keep saying tech and we don't know what's tech. Tech is technology. Technology. Okay, technology. So you have to understand the skills, you have to understand the tools for you to be able to function as a forex analyst. And how are you going to learn? What's the learning timeline like? The learning timeline is for 2 months, where you have 1 month of in learning, and you have another month of mentorship. Okay, you learn for 1 month and you have another month of mentorship, with classes being on Saturdays and Sundays. On Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, and on Sundays from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. West African time. Okay, so Saturdays 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and Sundays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So those are the skills that you need to be a forex analyst. And for the sports analyst, what about the sports analyst? For the sports analyst, for you to be a sports analyst, the sports analyst is just like the gold trader. There are people that trade gold, and what do they do? But let's not even use gold traders. Let's use like your market people, okay? People, the market men, the market women, people that are involved in e-commerce, your traders, people that trade, people that buy any kind of trade, either importer, exporter, or whatever kind of trade, as long as the business of buying and selling. That's actually like a crypto analyst. The just like for the buying and selling, you buy low and you sell high. Okay, so you buy and then you sell high, just like a gold trader that buys gold when gold is low and sells gold when gold is high. Okay, studies the market to determine when is gold going to be low, when is going to be high. That's the sports crypto analyst. The crypto analyst is just like the gold trader, but in this case, analyzes cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, your Ethereum, and your Solana in the spot market to actually know, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is going to be what's going to happen, to carry out predictions, to know when to buy, when to sell, and when to hold in order to make a profit. That is the spot analyst. Okay, and there are some differences between sports and forex. Some different differences between sports and forex. For example, in forex, where the trading time is 245. That's 24/5. So the market is open Monday to Friday. The market closes on Friday and opens on Monday. That's the reason why you hear things like the stock market closes at this, or the forex market closes at this and opens at this amount. So it closes and opens. But the sports market is open 247. So that means that you can trade at any time, because the market is also very, very instantaneous. So things that you have to understand to be a crypto analyst: you need to know how to carry out your market research, your technical analysis, your fundamental analysis, and very, very important, your risk management. You need to be able to know, okay, this is the time for me to buy, or this is the time for me to sell, or this is the time for me to hold. These are three key strategies. There are things that you look out for that will guide you, for you to know when to buy, when to sell, or when to hold. And then also, what are the skills that you need to know? What are the things that you need to know to be a sports analyst? You need to understand what centralized exchanges, what decentralized exchanges, and how you can trade on both. You need to understand how you can carry out staking. Many people think that the only way you can earn in crypto is by buying coins and selling coins. No, there's a whole lot. Yes, that's one of them. You have things like your pre-sales, whereby before when a coin is launched, you buy a certain amount, and then as soon as it's launched, you carry out your sell to get some with profit. You have your staking, which is also different. So there are several things that you have to understand. It's not just buy Bitcoin or buy this coin and sell. I'm looking at the market and I want to see it has gone up a bit and then you convert to USDT quickly. No, it's a lot more than that. So you have to understand your yield finance, your narrative and research, your risk management and trading, your trading stocks and trading crypto. The difference, because stocks is also a good one. Stocks is when you are buying company investment and company shares. For example, you can be buying shares from Zenith Bank, from MTN, from Dangote. That's for the Nigerian companies, or from the outside companies. For example, the Zenith Bank shares last year increased by forgotten the percentage, but people made a lot of money. People that actually bought Zenith Bank shares made a lot of money. Okay, I've forgotten the actual percentage now, but yeah, so there are companies like that that you can actually buy shares from. So we show you all of that, how you can make all of this profit, and of course the tools that you need to understand, know how to use. Tools like your CoinGecko, to your Dex Screener, your Binance, your Xness, your CoinMarketCap, your Bamboo for for your stocks, for trading stocks. So these are the tools that you have to understand. So it's not just Trust Wallets alone. Trust Wallets is more like, okay, where you buy and sell coins, but there are a lot more. Okay, so there are a lot of things that you need to understand for you to be able to carry out your analysis, for you to be able to carry out your research, for you to actually know what's happening in the market and when to make a move. And then, of course, the learning timeline is to 2 months, where you learn for 1 month and you have 1 month off mentorship, with classes being on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time, and from on Sundays, just okay, yeah, sorry about that, and from Sundays from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. West African time. So that's very, very similar in terms of the class times. Okay, and moving on. The next thing that you have to know, this is the final. The next thing you have to know is the success equation. If you're looking to get into to invest into in digital assets, you have to know the success equation. Very, very important. And what is the success equation? The success equation is how you can be successful, and that is the TS plus the TPLM. You have to have the technical skills and the trading psychology and risk mastery for you to get success. And that's what we are actually very, very concerned about in Kleiner. What we want is not just you getting the technical skills. What we call success is when you've gotten the skills and you've been able to start making trades, you've been able to start getting profits, you've been able to have that other stream of income that you actually do need. And the way that you can actually get that is by having technical skills, and that's the TS plus the TPRM. And we are very, very much interested in that. Hence the reason why you get the additional services that would ensure you get the other 50% from your one-on-one sessions with the experts, whereby you can go ahead to schedule a one-on-one session. So you can go ahead to schedule a one-on-one session with an expert to tell them through your thought process. This is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at. What do you think? Of course, why would my client might not be financial advisors, right? But yeah, we tell you that, oh, this is what we know. This is what guides us. And of course, at the end of the day, that the final decision was with you. So you can have that one-on-one session, which is actually different from your classes. And then you have the live trading analysis. Live trading analysis, I talked about this earlier, where you're not just doing, taking a look at what someone is doing and trying to replicate, but that you're all also sharing ideas. Then you have navigating financial investment to ensure that you are able to build a balanced portfolio and you have wealth going for you in different aspects and not just putting all of your eggs in one basket. To the market rundown, where you have sessions, sometimes in a week, in some weeks you are unable to carry out your research, so you've been unable to take a look at the market. So the market rundown is a session where we tell you just what happened in the market, this what is happening, just so maybe you want to use that to make a decision, because we are all busy, right? So sometimes you might not be able to actually take it carry out the research yourself. So we carry out that research, mostly fundamental analysis, right? And we tell you that, oh, this is what the market is saying, this is what the market is saying, just so you can make a decision on that. To having an alumni community for your networking, an alumni community that's trying to achieve similar goals that you are looking to achieve as well. Very, very important. Very, very important. All of these things is what will help what will help give you that other 50% in addition to the first 50%, which is the technical skills, which you, of course, you're going to be learning, and then you get the other 50% that will help you succeed for you to achieve your goals. Okay, and the next cohort that we have is actually starting on the 6th of June. 6th of June, that's the next cohort. And what you need to do, all you need to do is to go ahead to register to be a part of the next cohort. And how do you register? Very, very simple. So if you are looking at being a forex analyst or a sports analyst, so you want to go for the forex analysis program or for the sports analysis program, the full amount is 50,000. Okay, so you get paid 50,000. But at the moment, we're currently running a discount for the first 20 persons to register, so you get to pay 40,000 instead. Okay, so that's if you qualify for the discount. And the way you can go ahead to make payment, my colleague is going to send in the link he's going to send it the link to register to the chat box. And so once you click on that link, it's going to take you to the Clarion registration hub, and I'm going to show you what that looks like very, very quick. Okay, so it's going to take you over to the Clarion registration hub. So once you come over here, all you need to do, you can just scroll down. So you see chat with Clarion. So maybe you have a question, or you want to chat with anyone just to have clarity. So you can click on this, and there's someone at the back end that would listen to you. And then of course we over here you can get access to our program brochures to have an understanding of what you're going to be getting in each program from A to Z. Okay, and at the bottom you can see where you can visit store. So you have the two programs, and you get to select any one of your choice. That's the one that you want to go for. So let's say you want to go for the sports analyst program, which of course is the crypto analyst program. So you click on visit store, and this will bring you over to this page. Just give me a moment. So while this loads up. Okay, so this brings you over to this page, and then you get to see, yeah, discount is still running. So you select the program you're looking to go for, and then over here you click on secure your seat. It would then take you over to this point where you insert your details and click on proceed, and then a pop-up would come up asking you for the payment method you want to use, if you want to use your card or you want to pay via transfer. Okay, so you click on that, you fill in the details and you make the payment, and as soon as you do that, a receipt will be sent to you via email. In addition to that receipt, you get a link telling you to click on that link to complete your payment. So once you click on that link, you fill in the details, you complete your payment, and then you get a confirmation email from us with your program kit that contains everything you need to be a part of the program. So that's about it. I'm sure we had an amazing time. If you have a question for me, you can go ahead to ask. And yeah, so we'll call it today. So if you have a question for me, you can go ahead to ask your question. Okay, but if no questions, that's fine as well. Maybe if you have questions later on, you can always just reach out to any of the admins on the community and ask your questions, and of course, clarity will be provided. Please ensure you register quickly so you get to get the discount and you don't end up paying the full amount. And I'll see you guys some other time. Till then, please ensure you register, because quick says the clock, and whatever you have to do, ensure you do quick. Cheers.